All right. I have a saying that I have in my classroom that a closed mouth does not get fed. So if you don't ask, I don't know what you don't know.
Miss Sharman,
Yes, ma'am.
this is Wometta.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm having difficulty, and I shouldn't be, but I am, no matter how much I look at the charts, as to where the trend starts.
So
Because
what?
on my
So
initial mark,
what tool did
they,
we give you to help you find your trend?
what do you mean, what tool? I'm drawing a blank. Please
Were
forgive
you
me.
on? Were you on yesterday?
Uh, Part of it, and it kept cutting out. So, and then I had to go home because literally I logged in while I was at work at the end of the day.
So when we're trying to find our trend, if you don't know how to find your trend, the first thing you need to do is make sure you're on the correct time frame to look for your trend. The second thing you need to do is squeeze your chart all the way in. Okay. So here is an easy way, easier than any way to find the trend. Get this pathway tool and follow price to where it goes to the highest, stops, and then starts going low, or vice versa. So right here in this middle point right there, that's where my trend starts. My downtrend started right there because I'm no longer going uphill. If I were still going uphill, then that means that price action would have continued to make those type of movements. It did not continue to go up and down, up and down, up and down, yet going higher. Because in order to have a trend, I should be making higher highs. I should see how it's still going higher and higher and higher. And I
Yes.
should be going up on the bottom as well. It got right here in this area and began to drop, And I started going lower, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And it's going to eventually give me a lower low. Right here is where it stops. Now, if you are kind of like me, where you're spatially challenged, and I'm not afraid to say it, you can use a tool called your exponential moving average or your moving average exponential. Here, you see it, moving average exponential? When
Yes,
you
ma'am.
click this, go to your settings and make sure that your input is at 200. So now, when I see that price is riding above the 200 moving average and it's kind of dropping, but still going, it's still overall, it's still above it. Even though it dropped here, you didn't start making lower lows and lower highs, right?
Right.
Drop below here, you did not continue to make lower lows and lower highs. It dropped down, gave you an equal, but then kept going. But when you get right into this space that I had already outlined, notice that price now starts riding under that 200. So when price goes above the 200, it's not just one time that price is above the 200. If this was the only part we're looking at, this is not a trend. Because remember, in order to have a trend, I have to make higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. I need to have at least two higher lows.
Right.
This is not one. This is zero. This is
Right.
one. This is two. So I need to have that still. And I have that. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Drop down low, but it's still going higher. See how this is higher, higher, higher? Each one is going higher than the previous.
Yes, ma'am.
Higher, higher, higher. That's what an uptrend does. A downtrend is going to be the opposite, lower, lower, lower. But I still need to make sure that I have two. Lower, higher low, lower low, higher low. I'm sorry, lower high. I still have this one being nothing. Here's the one, here's the two. I have that. An easier way to look at that is to just ask yourself very simply, like, let's not make this difficult. If I believe that this is a trend, do I have multiple retests? The answer is yes. Oh, and it's going lower. I have a trend. That's the easiest part. Just looking at the MACD. Do I have multiple reds and multiple greens? Yes, I have a red, a green, and a red and a green. I need to have, after I have found this one does not count. Do I have two reds and two greens? I do. Are they going lower? They are. Are they continuously going lower? They are. Then I have a trend.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
again, your tool that you can use is your 200 EMA.
Thank
It's my
you.
hope that you won't need to, to use it much longer. But you're just asking yourself, when did I stop going in a direction, in an overall direction? This is the part that used to get me. It's like, okay, I went up, but I went down. And then I went up and I went down. And then I went up and I went down. Why is this down here? Why is this down not the same as this down?
Right.
See, those are the questions I need you to formulate for me.
Okay.
When you're don't let me explain something. You're like, okay, I kind of understand it. When you have us on these calls, we want you to totally understand it in whatever capacity we can make you understand it in that time frame. Because again, like I said, my confusion was when I first started trading, what I'm looking at this. We've got this pullback. We've got this pullback. That was a part of the uptrend. Why is this one no longer a part of the uptrend? It pulled back too. See?
Yes.
See it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you wonder that?
Yeah.
Okay, can anybody tell her why this one does not have the same ride up? What's wrong with this guy right here?
Not a higher low.
It did not go higher. Very good. Because remember, everything in an uptrend should go higher.
Gotcha.
This is lower. This is lower. But it still doesn't count yet. This bears watching, but I'm still not in a downtrend with this move. Why not?
That's just one.
You need two.
Because we've already established these things right now. This should be second nature to you all because we need two. We need two what? I need two lower highs. 0, 1, and 2. It's not until I get to the second one that I'm like, okay, the market is trending. When something is trending on TikTok, that means more than one person is doing the dance, right? I can go on TikTok and try to start a trend, but it doesn't become a trend until you have multiple people doing it. You turn on the radio station, you play a song. By the time you get to where you're going, that same song starts again. You get in your car, you go to the grocery store, you get back in the car, that song is on again. Why? Because it's trending.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So on an uptrend, you're looking for higher highs, right?
Higher highs and higher lows.
And higher
but my
lows.
values go to my higher lows because I cannot have a higher low without having a higher high. It's impossible. Let's look at it. Let's move you out of the way. Okay. So we've got an impulsive move here. Where's my low? I don't have a lower until that guy right there. He started it off But again, I keep going over this. This is not a This is not a lower. There's nothing lower than that. This is what started it. Price came from right here. Okay? Price came from over up there somewhere. There's nothing down here lower than it. So this is a low, not a lower. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Which is
Yes.
why we give it the value of what?
0.
Zero.
Why we give it the value of 0. I have to come up here first before I can make this guy here. So I cannot have a higher low without making the high first. Because that's the path that price goes. Goes up and then down. And then up again and then down. You have to go up first in an uptrend. So you're making these guys your resistance first, your support second. Your resistance first, your support second. Please finish your question just in case I did not answer what you wanted answered.
So would it be the same for a downtrend where you look at both of them rather than just one of them?
What do you mean them? And which one of what?
Well, let's say on a downtrend, because I was thinking on on an uptrend, you would look at the lower highs, or I'm sorry, the higher lows, making sure that support keeps going up. On a downtrend.
So wait, let's back up. Let's back up. Why are we paying attention to the higher lows? And I want Tony to answer that. In an uptrend, why are we paying attention to those higher lows?
To make sure that there's support, that the support keeps moving up.
And so what do we do as support? Why is support significant for a person in an uptrend?
Because that's where it'll get retested.
Why is it significant for us to find a retest? You're giving me textbook answers.
Oh.
But I want to know the practical answer. Why am I trying to find a retest?
Because we want to make sure that it keeps moving higher than that point.
For what purpose? Just to be able to say, oh, there it is.
Can we answer or no?
Type it in the chat, but I want to give him distinct time. I want him to know how obvious this answer is, and he knows the answer because it's such a practical answer. And I know you know it, and I want you to think about why in the world we would wait for the market to pull back. What decisions are we making at a pullback? Were you on the call yesterday?
A little bit. I had to drop off because my signal was kept going off.
What decision are we making at support in an uptrend? Let me check the chat. Let me see if people are writing it in. Very good, Avia. Very good, Taliba. Very good. We're buying. We're buying right there. This is where we buy. That was the first rule of thumb. We buy low. If bread is 99 cents a loaf, even if you don't need bread, you're going to buy it and put it in the freezer. Because we buy things when they go on sale. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So here's what I need you to understand. The movement is showing you price rising and falling. That's all this is. This is price moving. These numbers over here to the side, these are prices. Okay? And I don't want to assume anything because I didn't know that in the beginning. I didn't know what these numbers were. But these are actually prices. So price is rising here. Price is being lowered here. Price is kind of staying the same right here. Price is rising, increasing in value, decreasing in value. Okay? So if we're going to buy, great. But don't you want to buy when the true story. True story. Looking for a backyard umbrella. I was on Wayfair and Amazon last night and this morning. Something told me get up and go to Big Lots. I found a 15-foot umbrella for my backyard for under 120 bucks. You think I bought it, Tony?
No.
Oh, why wouldn't I buy it?
How much did you say it was?
It was less than $120.
Oh, less than 120, yes. Because it was on sale, so a lower price.
Because it was low. Why would I look at Amazon and then look at Wayfair? I'm looking for one thing. I'm looking for one thing, but what am I looking for that thing to be?
Price be lower.
I'm looking for a lower price. Those are things that we do in everyday life. I need you to bring your everyday mind to this chart. The same way that you should be shopping in the real world is the same way you should. We're shopping. That's all we're doing. We're shopping. We're buying or we're selling. So if price is in an uptrend and the buyers are dominating the market, I want to buy too. But I only want to buy once it goes on sale. So I need price to drop. And price shows me great sales prices at support. That is why price is constantly dropping. So if I come here, for example, and let's just go to this support level. See how price dropped here?
Yes.
Not that price dropped here. Price came to 33966 zone. It came to around 33966. Look how many times price visited that area or that around that price.
Many times.
Look at that. 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 These are all the time right here. Uh-oh. I don't know why my came here. Came here. Came here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times that price came around 33,966. That's a good price. That's a great price. You go buy a car before the pandemic, right? And you just want to find just a decent, reliable car. You're not looking for a luxury car, just a decent car. So you might go to the car lot. You already know $35,000 is a decent price for a car. They know that. So you go to multiple car places and you're going to find a lot of cars back in the day around $35,000. Because they know that's a great price that people will buy from. It motivates buyers. That's what price does. Price drives demand. And demand drives price. When I want to create a demand, I lower the price. I entice you to come into my store and shop with me. When I have so many people coming in my store to shop with me, I'm like, I can raise prices. Look how many people want my stuff. We know that in the real world, don't we?
Yes,
Tony?
we do.
Is Tony still
Yes.
on here?
Yes.
So I need you to put that thinking cap on when you come and look at this chart. It's the same principles. So the price drives demand, and demand turns around and drives price.
Okay. That makes sense. Yes.
So again, if I am in an uptrend, I want to buy at support. So if I want to buy at support when price drops, because I don't want to buy low, when do we want to sell? Everybody can answer.
At
At
resistance.
Resistance.
I want to sell at resistance when price is high. When I first started this mentorship program, it's like $300 to get in. We started getting results. We started growing. We started doing this. The demand started growing, and so did price. So my prices went up to sell my stuff. I want to sell high. If I'm going to sell my house, I want to sell it for the highest price. When I sell my car, I want to sell it for the highest price. So we're looking at values in an uptrend at your higher low. Our values in a downtrend is going to be our lower high. Yes, no, maybe so.
Yes.
Yes.
Any other questions?
Thank you very much for that.
Huh?
Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
I have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
I was able to use the plan to take profit near the 4,